Welcome to the Roadmap to Secure Love. In today's episode, Kim and Kyle discuss how memories of secure attachment can strengthen resilience and provide an emotional anchor in challenging times today. Let's dive in.
Did you know that you could be a secure place for yourself? One of the powerful things about attachment theory is as we go through life, we have secure experiences and we have insecure experiences. When we have these secure experiences, one of the powerful things that the research shows is we can internalize those positive experiences about how we feel about ourselves, how we see others, and how we feel in the world. And throughout life, we can pull on those experiences to help us become more resilient, stronger, and to get through tougher times, as well as help us self regulate in difficult moments so we can show up with our best self.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'd like to start is Kim, are you open to sharing a little story about kind of a memory and experience that you hold that still shows up for you even today?
Sure. So I have a wonderful, wonderful memory of my grandfather, Seymour. He was only in my life for 8 years, 8 years. And he would let me pretend that I was his barber. And I would sit on his lap and I would cut his hair, fake cut his hair. And he would giggle and laugh. And I was just his person. And he was my person. He would take me to the grocery store. We would pick out, he would tell me how fruit is good and how it's not, when it was not ripe and when it was ripe. He fed me too much junk food. And then I would get sick at night. And then he would stay up all night with me because I wasn't feeling good. He was an anchor for me during those 8 years. Now it's 30 years later, Kyle. I'm not going to tell everybody my age, right? It's a long time. And I can still go back and close my eyes and see Seymour delighting in me. He just loved me. It didn't matter what I did, how I looked, whatever I did. He delighted in me. I remember I sang this awful song in a choir for my school. I was the kid that would scream really loud and everybody's like, "Oh, please stop." And my family was all like, "Oh my gosh, Kim, she's up there doing her little singing thing." And when I met him afterwards, he was so proud of me. He's like, "You own that stage." I am so, but I could see everybody around him looking embarrassed. But not him, not Seymour. He was proud. And I can still, 30 years later, feel his delight in me when I think about it. And Kyle, those are the times or the memories that we have. And it doesn't have to be with a person. It could be an inanimate object. It could be a dog. It could be a horse. It could be an animal. Where if we go back to that time and we allow ourselves to feel the delight that somebody has in us, or the pure joy, support, comfort, whatever that is, we can actually channel it to the present day to feel more secure and have that anchor to do difficult things. So even if we don't have a community around us currently to give us support that we need, we can pull back from a memory, either with a person, an animal, a doll, to bring us this security so that we can do the hard things in the present moment.
And this is what's so powerful is I think when we can pull on that internalized experience of delight or love or worthiness or belonging, right? It's kind of really what you're talking about, kind of that pure sense of self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
It allows us to use those memories, those experiences to get through some hard times because throughout life, Kim, you just like me, you also have these insecure moments where you felt rejected, you felt hurt, you felt not cared for, you felt inadequate, you felt all these other things. And those are really painful experiences that we go through. And so those moments of pain can sometimes get really loud,
Mm,
especially if they're more current,
mm,
right? We might go, okay, this person didn't like me, or you know, I kind of fumbled my presentation for this workshop I was giving up on stage, or something like that. And we can feel ourselves starting to get down and feel like a failure, feel bad about ourselves. And those are really painful moments. And our brain is going to maybe latch onto that stuff and latch onto what we did wrong or what we messed up and really stick us into that dark place.
mm-hmm.
Those things are really painful and we can get stuck there in that place. And same thing with our relationships. We might have made a bid for a connection and our partner missed it, or they might not have been able to show up for us in the times we really needed them. And so in those moments, we can stick with that painful part and keep that running us going forward,
Mm-hmm.
that painful memory, and keep ourselves vigilant for the next presentation, vigilant for the next time our partner um, might not be around, even though other times they are showing up for us, and be on guard from a kind of an insecure place of when's the next thing that's going to go wrong.
Right.
And so that's a pretty normal experience when we go through painful things. And Kim, what can we do when that pain gets really loud, when it gets really loud in our bodies? How can we use these positive moments of secure attachment to become more resilient, stronger in those hard, painful experiences, or even the memories of those experiences as we're about to try something new?
Yeah. It's hard. It's not something that is easily done, and it's not something that we're actually taught. So it's going to might seem a little different as I'm talking about this. But what we do is when we do something scary or we're feeling insecure, we can go back to those moments and really close our eyes, take a deep breath, start to picture what you felt like in that moment of joy. So I would close my eyes and see the 4-year-old Kim being held by Seymour, giggling, feeling that I was so loved and that no matter what I did, it was perfect. And I can pull from that moment to today and say, I can do difficult things. I am strong. Instead of letting the feeling of, I'm worthless, I'm going to fail, I'm going to be terrible, which is going to be very hard to silence, I'm going to allow myself to see and to experience at one time in my life when I felt strong and brave and courageous and pull from that. Sue Johnson, the founder of emotion focused therapy, Hold Me Tight, wrote the book. She taught a course about this very thing. And one of the things that she did was she worked with a young lady who had trauma, pretty significant trauma, and nobody was really safe. So, what Sue helped her navigate was actually she would hide under the bed because she was afraid, but there was a doll there. And that doll gave her comfort and let her know that she wasn't alone. And that might sound silly, but sometimes that's what we have. That's
Especially,
what we have.
right?
And she was able to pull from that time where she took care of herself. She resourced a doll to help her get through some very, very difficult things as a child. She was able to protect herself in some moments, right? And Sue kind of helped her bring those moments in and to be like, you can do hard things. You survive. You are special. You are worthy. Just from that little encounter, it wasn't little, it's actually very profound for that human, as she grew up and protected herself with the doll under the bed. And we need those moments where, when life gets really, really tough, that we are reminded how resilient we are, how lovable we are, how profound we are. The world will tell us a whole bunch of stuff. Social media will tell us stuff that isn't true about ourselves. These moments is our truth. You are worthy, brave, strong, courageous.
And I could hear someone listening to this and go, but, what about all these other experiences? But. And here's the thing, those experiences, you've been through them, right? And it makes sense that you'd have that doubt. Here's the thing though, with the research, right? They talk about what they call secure-based scripts, which is kind of what Kim's actually modeling. How do we internalize this kind of script? What would this person do for us? How would they show up for us? How would we feel in these difficult moments? And so you are going to have these doubts. You are going to have doubts about your performance at work, or how lovable or how belonging you are in a certain environment. That feeling, though, starts to touch into a feeling of shame, right? I don't belong. I'm not good enough. I'm inadequate, which makes it really hard to move, and also makes us even isolate more, moves us away from connection, which we are hardwired for connection. Our nervous system is biologically wired to connect with other people, to feel a sense of belonging. So shame can kind of take over. It can kind of hide us. It can block us from making efforts in the direction we want. And in those tough moments, if we can pull on these memories of love, of belonging, of sense of worth, it's like a light in that dark cave that we can follow out to do some of the hard things. We can follow out to be resilient, to show up for ourselves, even in really difficult moments. Now, it might feel silly to go back and think about that experience with a doll or a dog or mom or a grandparent, or even a teacher at school who really saw you, who you felt known by, even if that was decades later. It might feel silly to do that, but those feelings that you got, just as Kim talked about with Seymour, can really activate those feelings even now.
Mm.
And when we feel that sense of worth, when we feel that sense of belonging, and we can use that emotion and even ask ourselves, what would Seymour say to me in this experience? How would they comfort me? How would they delight in me as I'm looking at this hard thing I'm about to do, or this hard thing I'm going through? And all of a sudden, we get a more sense of secure attachment in that hard experience, which makes us more resilient, be able to lean into the hard things and get through that hard season or phase that we're going through.
Mm. So what I hear us talking about is that we have it in within ourselves, whether we have a support system currently in our lives that will help us through things. We have it within ourselves to tap into a strength to help us overcome in the moment.
And this is so powerful, because these memories not only show up emotion, but it shows up in our body, right? If I'm thinking about the times where I've been humiliated, there's painful experiences that I've had, my body wants to collapse. It wants to fold in. I want to pull away. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to engage. I don't feel strong. I don't feel resilient, as those experiences really feel alive in me.
Mm.
if I slow down and I'm holding that, and then I can pull in those experiences of being delighted and of being loved, of someone seeing my strength, of someone acknowledging that, of someone supporting me, I feel my shoulders get a little bit more upright. I feel my body kind of get more in a position of, okay, I can face this. I can go into this. I can handle this because I'm worth fighting for. It makes it so much more easier to go through those experiences. And so this secure experience, Kim, that you're talking about with Seymour that you've internalized, you've been able to pull on it for 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that memory, that experience of being delighted and of I can do no wrong and I'll still be loved, which all of us want, all of us yearn for. And all of us have those experiences with someone or something.
Right.
And if we can pull on that internalized feeling, it can help us with the hard things now, even if there's difficult things in our relationship, even if we're struggling with our partner with negative cycles, which Kim and I have episodes about. We can use that sense of lovability and worthiness to ground ourselves emotionally, to feel anchored in the moment. So then we can show up with our best selves to our partner. We can talk a little bit softer. We might be able to see their experience a little differently than more reactive, protective, and blaming and attacking.
You're talking about an untapped resource that we have
Mhm.
that people just don't talk about
No.
and don't encourage to do.
Mhm.
But I can tell you, if I am feeling stressed and I'm feeling insecure about myself, and I imagine my 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old self in the arms of Seymour,
Mhm.
nothing like it in the world. Nothing like it in the world.
And when you tap into that experience, especially when you're dealing with something hard, what do you notice? What shifts for you?
Oh, strength. I feel like you can do anything.
Mhm.
The doubt of others, even the doubt in myself gets smaller.
Mhm.
You feel powerful, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, I can do anything. I don't care if you believe in me or not. I can do it.
Mhm. I'm capable because I know I'm worthy. I know I'm lovable.
Hmm.
And that internalized message from that experience really makes us resilient and powerful now,
Right now.
right now.
Hmm.
And so, whether you're struggling with your relationship, struggling with work stuff, struggling with health things, pulling on these memories can really help, as Kim said beautifully, you, anchor your resilience, anchor your resourcefulness to show up with your best self in whatever it is you're facing.
So I think the invitation to those who are listening is to find your anchor.
Mhm.
And what that means is that we'd encourage you to find a calm place. Just close your eyes and think about a time where you felt delighted in, supported, seen. It doesn't have to be a kid, it could be yesterday, it could be whatever. Whatever comes up to you is okay.
Mhm.
And then just get to embrace that memory. Make that memory alive again. Relish in it. And do that for a little bit. And then take a break and then maybe do it later in the week and then take a break, maybe do it again in a few days and then take a break and do it again. Because what we want is we want you to be able to tap into that resource quickly when
Mhm.
you need it.
Right.
So that means we need to get to know that part.
Yeah. And I think as you get to know that part, as that part gets louder or thicker, as Kim likes to call it, but it gets louder and louder internally, when we go through tough moments, you can even have conversations with it. Hey,
Mm.
secure part, What do you want? How do you want me to look at this? How do you want me to see this really hard thing I'm going through, knowing that I'm lovable, knowing that I'm worth it?
Mhm.
And that
Abs-
inner dialogue can really help us from kind of a place of groundedness decide what is going to be best for us.
mhm. Or I'm afraid.
Mhm.
I'm afraid. I need to go back to that memory where even if I was afraid, an embrace could wipe that away. And sit in that for a moment so that my fear goes away or it gets less or I get emboldened.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, this is something that I think is so profound and so helpful for us to be able to resource and use in difficult moments. But kind of the toolkit as we get to a close of the episode is to one, get clear on that memory or that experience that you felt calm, you felt safe, you felt loved, you felt worthwhile, you felt like you belonged.
Mm,
And then two, just as Kim said, really get to know that experience, really tap into how it feels as you sit with that experience and that memory today. Really feel into that. Whether that's, you getting through something scary, whether that's you getting through something hard, whatever it might be. And then three, as you get to know that, you can then pull on that part, ask that part to support you or how to support you as you're facing something scary or hard now.
mm.
Kim, is there anything I'm missing with that?
No, I like it. How to resource the inner strength to anchor ourselves in order to live in the moment with confidence, with delight, and with strength. Can't get much better than that, Kyle.
No, I can't. And I think this is what's so powerful is this tool that we're offering you can really help you self-regulate. It can help you feel more grounded or as anchored, as Kim said, and help you make decisions and show up with your best self in your life.
Mm,
Because when we act from a place of love, belonging, worthiness, we're making really good decisions. We're able to take in different perspectives. We're able to take in so much more than compared to a survival state of inadequacy or fear.
mm.
And so I think this is such a powerful tool on our roadmap to secure love, to build that secure attachment within ourselves, to make it really thick and loud so we can resource it when we need it most.
Absolutely.
And to get to that place, we have to spend the time with those memories and that experience. We can't just go through something hard and go, okay, I got to go back to that then. No, you have to foster this relationship now, even when things are good. Tap into it, sit with it, linger with it, simmer in it, and feel it again and again and again. So when you need it most, you can pull on it and it's already loud enough to come in and help you in that hard moment.
I love it.
Me too. It's such a powerful tool.
Such a powerful tool on the roadmap to secure love. It's not only with those around us, but having secure love for ourselves.
Thank you for tuning in to the Roadmap to Secure Love. Today, Kim and Kyle helped us explore the profound impact of our secure attachment memories. Key takeaways include 1. Identify a secure attachment memory. 2. Learn to sit with that emotional experience. 3. Allow experience to bring you hope and strength. We hope these insights empower you to tap into your secure memories and strengthen your emotional foundation. Secure attachment is the foundation for growth. Until next time, keep fostering the secure attachments within yourself.